Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We remain trapped in a pit of heresy, of vileness, of necromancy, double parking, and doubtless watered ale as well. Yes, folks, we're still in New Tristram, and this is part 3 of my playthrough of Diablo 3. And they've moved the cart even better. So, let us go and have a chat with the mayor, see if he's grown a spine.
They dragged my cart from the road, but for what? I can't get it repaired. Might as well dig a hole and die in it.
Right, no, he hasn't. Fair enough. Right. Yes, preferably by going outside and dancing the I want to be zombie chow dance. With a bit of luck, we'll get some bait out of you. Sod all use for anything else, that's for certain.
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Yorick.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
With a hammer.
It must be done, blacksmith. I will help you.
Nothing's ever simple in this game, is it? Oh well. So they put them all in a cell with a build up. Why didn't they just set light to the building? Much quicker. Right, bring on the dogs. And let's go and do the dirty work. Oh! Packet loss, rubber banding in a single player game. Blizzard! I don't even pretend to understand. Oh well, make with the smiting, and the purging, and the dark gun. Yes.
I do not have enough mana.
Stop flailing around with that hammer and actually hit them. Ugh, blacksmiths. Bet he doesn't make good swords either. Alright, pop, pop, pop. The wife is still alive. Who wants to bet she won't be very shortly? Pop, pop, pop. Pop. Heal, Fido.
My love.
No, don't waste time talking, just kill her. Now? We're gonna have to do this ourselves, aren't we? What a surprise. Bring it on. Probably fresh dogs as well, there we go. Well, at least she's not trying. And there we go. And oh, looky, more loot I can't use. Happy days.
I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrick Aim.
I know, I could see your title.
Assistance, Hedrick. I search for the crown of Yorick.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you
Why couldn't it have been on top of your mantelpiece? Can't these things ever be easy? The number of zombies I've killed, I've probably put your fool apprentice under the ground back in the first episode. But if I see him, I suppose we could send the poor little lost lamb your way.
No one around here appreciates the work I put into acquiring these fine wares. It's not easy, I can tell you that.
Yes, I'm sure those locked doors and chests and safes are so difficult to crack. Perhaps we should appreciate your work. Say 5 years hard labour apiece. Sounds about right. Consecutive, of course, not at the same time.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground.
What are those? They look like some... I don't know. Either we're being attacked by rabid mutant badgers, or the murlocs in this game are really weird.
Pathetic creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores. I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utter nonsense.
Well, given how reliable you've been, I imagine we're going to have to kill off a certain well-trained badger-murloc hybrid, say halfway through Act 2? Maybe sooner? We shall see. Right, nightmarish, ravenous undead. What do these things do? Make me eat cheese before breakfast? Oh, right, I see. Fear effects. Oh, Although, I have to wonder, what is the point in a melee-only mob fearing a ranged class? I mean, all they're doing is forcing me to kite, which is very obliging of them, because I'm being lazy about that. Oh well, I'm not going to complain. If they're going to help me kill them, more power to them. Obviously, they are still unholy abominations, must be purged from existence, but that doesn't mean I can't be grateful to them for making it easy, unlike the arch-heretic Cain, who still seems to be protected by some vile power. His plot armor will fail eventually, I am sure of that. You cannot evade justice forever. For the moment, however, let's just carry on purging these undead. And I'm nowhere near the objective, am I? This could take a while. Oh, ding. Yes. Right, is that club any good? No, not really. Dartgiver splinters. So I'm going to what? Really make their thumbs hurt when I hit them? I suppose there's one easy way to find out. If I can get out of this fight. Thank you. Kindly fall over and, well, die again. Pop, pop, pop. Right, that's that. Now then. Let's see. Yeah, so no effect. Oh, right, so basically it's burst fire. What else we get? Slow, mana drain, incendiaries, and snake to the face. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the ultimate tool in any witch doctor's armory, the Mark II Dartgiver. So, let us see what this can do. Yes, that's not going to set off a horde of undead at all, is it? Oh well. Right then, Dartgiver to burst. Pop, 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 burn, pop, 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 burn, pop, pop, burn. I really hope Blizzard are going to add something more interesting to the gameplay as we level up, because otherwise this is going to be a very, very boring class to play in combat. I mean, I could, I suppose, muck around with the spiders again, but they weren't exactly impressive at first go compared to this. Right, let's see what this says.
Cold ground welcomes the foul bodies of these cool men. They sought to prolong their lives through forbidden magic at great and cruel cost to others. Their evil fed on itself until it consumed them all, and they found themselves at the end of a hangman's rope.
So, basically, it was in fact completely just of them to be buried on unhallowed ground. Although with all the zombie problems these guys have, you would think they'd heard of cremation by now. No body, no zombie. Mind you, I'm not sure how you deal with an animated cloud of ash, so perhaps zombies are the lesser of two evils. At least everyone knows that if you dismantle a zombie, it stops trying to eat you. How you kill something undead and small enough to breathe is a completely different matter, but I don't think it's ever been an issue before. So no one's ever really had to come up with a method. Fire probably works. If you can get it hot enough. Fire works on everything if you can get it hot enough. Now, can you die? Again. And while I continue to drive the bat population of Tristram to extinction, let's carry on the exploring. I've still got this nagging feeling that I'd find similar gameplay if I fired up Ultima 8. And there's something to be said for a classic formula. I mean, let's face it, the basis of an FPS hasn't much changed since the days of Doom, of Quake, of Jedi Knight. The formula's been refined down the years, but no one's ever really gone and said, hey guys, let's do something completely different. You can't change the basis of a first-person shooter. Likewise, you can't change the basis very much of an isometric action game. All you can do is refine it, distill it, perfect it. We found a road. That looks like it may be where we need to go, particularly since the map has got nothing to sonar ping. But let us purge these guys first. XP is always good, and the less zombies we have to deal with later, the better. I mean, when was the last time you saw something that really changed up the formula for a genre? I mean, that's a paradox in itself. The formula is what defines the genre. So, Tribes, maybe? With the introduction of the jetpack and of skiing, was an interesting take on first persons. C&C pretty much codified real-time strategy, so I'm not sure if you can call that a shake-up or just a genre of itself, an originator, a primogenitor. It's an interesting point. How original can you get before you basically don't have a member of the genre anymore? That's getting a bit too debatable, but I need to fill what is, after all, a fairly repetitive action sequence. Now that looks like where we need to be, but there's a chasm in the way, so let us backtrack a little. I'll wager there's something. No, there isn't. Pity, that little hollow looked like it was a boss encounter of some kind. Evidently it wasn't. So here's the road, and if we follow that, we have a zombie doing a very bad job of trying to flank us. Down you go. Thank you. Right, ooh, elite mob. Teleport. Oh lord. Not only can it teleport, but it can summon as well. Well, provided it doesn't decide to get too trigger happy, I'm fine. I just had to say that, didn't I? I've got to stop giving the mobs ideas. That bing, by the way, was my email. I did a video earlier today that replayed the pony music. I put it up. Jesse Cox was kind enough to favour it on Twitter, and rather gratifyingly, my email inbox hasn't stopped binging with comments since. All I have to do now is hang on to some of the subscribe tracks. So if you heard of me because you were following Jesse on Twitter, welcome once again, and please hang about. I may not be quite as good yet, but I intend to improve. We shall... Well, I intend to improve, I hope to improve, but as we are so often told, hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. Right, so there's the teleporter zoning Hearthstone-y thing, and that's the entrance we saw, so let's take it. Defiled Crypt. Oh, the zombies in here are going to be so happy to see us, aren't they? And no one's paid the electricity bill either, mind you. You wouldn't really expect to need much lighting in the crypt. I'm very impressed by the ever-burning candles, though. Yeah, well, let's knock off these skeletons. Purge, purge, burn, purge, purge, burn. There we go, more or less job done. Right. What's in here, I wonder? I have to wonder about the burial practices of the people of New Tristram. Not only do they seem to stick gold under every single flagstone, is that some obscure part of the building code? But they don't seem averse to burying useful equipment either. Oh well, all the more for us to, what was that euphemism I had? Repurpose. That's quite a lot of corpses coming our way. We may be I may have bitten off a smidge more than I can chew here. Not to worry, can just keep the range open, use the bats to hit multiple enemies and just rely on the regen gear to keep me going if I take a few hits. There's a lot of zombies down here, but we seem to have killed them off, except for that one torso, but the dogs have got that. And oh, lovely elite mob. And it's one of the summoners, isn't it? Oh, happy, happy days. That's a lot of zombies. Oh dear, this could be bad. Hey, oh wow. Right, burn, 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 burn. Keep with the burning. Try not to get flanked and cut off, as that one was trying to do. Ooh, 24 monsters killed. Shiny! Right. Keep burning. Back up. Make it so I can only be hit by a few at once. Fighting in an open area is a bad idea when you're outnumbered. And... Right. Get them as they come around the corner. This isn't cowardice, this is sound tactics. I realise it can be hard to tell the difference at times, particularly if you're not there during the fight. Let's keep the AoE coming. Right, I think we have got the worst of them. Rough, the Bastion of the Mad. You know, honestly, I'd have expected her to be summoning, oh, I don't know, something angry? I mean, these guys aren't angry, they're just hungry. No one's fed them. Perhaps I should bring the mayor down here, see if that solves the problem. Get them snacking on him. Yes, that would help, I think. If nothing else, we'd save one person's rations per day. Sounds like an excellent plan, doesn't it? Right. Another melee mob that's knocking back. I'm not complaining. And boom. Justice is done with a high explosive rounds, apparently. I love my little Dartgiver. It is a most useful weapon. Right, let's hoover up and rock on. Now, where is this Chancellor's altar? I mean, you'd think it'd be around here somewhere. Maybe down here? We shall see. Fresh dogs and toddle on this corridor looks promising, particularly since it's producing skellies. Rule of MMOs. Pick the line of most resistance. If they're spawning undead to try and get you somewhere, that's where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. Standard adventuring protocol. Ditto anything that has near-lethal traps, etc, etc. Ooh, more knockback-only melee mobs. And, oh right, so I can sustain fire on the bats. Excellent! The bat population of this world is even more doomed than it already was. I don't know what Blizzard have got against bats. I can only assume someone preferred Heath's performance in that last movie. Can't say I blame them, but this is taking it a bit far. You can't drive a whole species to extermination. I mean, they're not even part of the same franchise. Never mind. Let's keep going. And I really don't get the building code round here. As much as it's useful to repurpose the loot. Alright, that last bit was straight grave robbing, I'll admit it. Can't very well deny it when you've just dismantled some poor soul's coffin, although I know that there was no body in there. Maybe the last resting place of Jason Todd, who knows?
Need more mana.
And we've got another ton of skeletons. Again, I can't help but feel that unless I get something new in the next 2 to 3 levels, I'm going to have a hard time sustaining interest in this character. Because the motive is literally send in the dogs, hang back, and flail away with the Dartgiver. And occasionally exterminate a few hundred more bats for giggles if I can get multiple targets in the arc. Like so. Because let's face it, the only difference between zombies and skellies when you're dealing with most games, and this appears to be one of them, is simply the sound effects and the artwork. They're still basic melee, walk up to you and flail away mobs. So in that respect... Oh, what are those? Oops. Let's see, I have a lore icon coming up here, so let's see what this says.
Demons have been known to devour their own young when no other nourishment is available. Their offspring, the imps, sometimes manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They rove in vicious packs, ready to descend upon the unwary traveler and rip his body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
Well, Malthus would doubtless approve of such a method of solving the population explosion. And in many respects that demonstrates how good Blizzard can be at drip-feeding content. Bear in mind that they brought that new enemy type in pretty much as I was starting to think, you know what, this is getting a little samey. Now, okay, that was still very much a zerging, horde-rushing, melee-only basic mob that has no purpose but to fall over and die and make you feel like a minor demigod of war. But they still got it in just as my interest was starting to wane, and they still managed to bring in something a bit different. So, whatever else you say about Blizzard, they wouldn't be where they were today if they didn't have a vague idea of how to get this right. Or at least fake getting it right long enough to keep your interest, which I suppose boils down to pretty much the same thing. So I don't know if that counts as fakery. That entire corridor was a massive sidetrack, wasn't it? Fair enough. Oh well, we got some decent XP out of it, and there's really only one way left to go. So let us take it and just quickly clear through here. Oh right, so this just backtracks like so. Fine, not a prob. Good to make sure we didn't miss anything, either lootable, killable, or even both. Yay, more zombies with digestion problems, more XP, more loot, and more dead bats. Mind you, this whole class is going to be better than animal cruelty, isn't it? I mean, between the zombie dogs and the bats, and I believe I can summon a rain of toads at some point, frogs. Not to mention using snakes as ammunition. Flintlock would most definitely approve of this, wouldn't he? I'm going to get a chop shot. Actually, no, I do get a chop shot skill. The snake to the face. Let's face it, what else would you call it? Obviously, I don't have to resort to gunpowder. Snakes presumably mass less than one juvenile woodchuck angry. So, we shall see how well that does in about 50 episodes' time, no doubt, the way this is going. Ah, good. Right, chant defiled crit level 2. Hopefully.
Bones beneath this tomb scream of madness and betrayal. The crown is near.
I sincerely hope so. It would be really ironic if I got to the bottom of this and then found out, sorry, your crown is in another castle. Ashes to ashes and more gold. These people have got some really expensive funerary customs, but hey, no one's asking where I get the cash from, so provided that stays how it is, then oh wow, I assume that is the substantial penalty for attempting to withdraw from death funds. Pretty feeble though. I wouldn't like to get in touch with this guy on melee personally, but as long as I can keep feeding him dogs, then we can do this from a safe distance. Poppity 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 pop. Poppity 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 bang. There we go, Club of the Eel.
The unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper burial. This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it, and I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
I'm in the bottom of an extremely haunted tomb that is largely overrun by rabid undead. Can we get a definition of sensible here? And, ooh, that's interesting. New mob type. Now, okay, what do we got? Ranged attacks for a start. That's new, although they're not doing a very good job. Those are really ineffective shadows if I can dodge them. And it looks like they're summoning skeletons as well. Let's see. Can we get rid of the skeletons and then bypass to get to the tomb guardians? No, we can't because they're summoning the skeletons faster than I can kill them off with the Dartgiver. Okay, let's see if we can just bypass anyway and leave the skeletons in the dust. Pun not intended. Right, let's see. Wait, where do you think you're going? Okay. Dodge the Shadow Wolf and bring on the bats. And get back here. Why, sensible AI all of a sudden. Right, this is more interesting. This is more like it. Tiny fall over. Right, mop up time. Bring in the dogs and bring in the bats. And that is that. Okay, that was more like it. Actually had a mob that was doing something other than mindlessly running towards me. I most definitely approve. And we've got some more of them. Get back here, you little... Okay, going through his bodyguards, finish them off. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when I retreat, it's sensible tactics. When they retreat, it's cowardice. Right, there's the crown. This isn't going to summon the boss at all, is it? There's no possible way this could go wrong.
No, I will not allow you to bring
I don't suppose we can talk this over? No? We don't get to explain why we want the crown? Nope, apparently not. Fine. Bring forth the smiting. He is standing in the way of holy purpose, and therefore he must be purged. Astral Guardian top. Okay, this guy is new. That looks like a health drain of some kind. Not sure he's actually healing up with it because he's falling over so fast. May just be a straight nuke. Still hitting hard. And there he goes. Right. Another... What is it with crossbows, Blizzard? I don't use crossbows. I don't want crossbows. Why? Oh. Well, I suppose I can dismantle it later.
In their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the living will yet restore the lives that were ripped away from them.
Tell me, those of you who still doubt that this man is a vile and unholy necromancer, how has he acquired such lore? Such knowledge is undoubtedly tainted. Right, so that's basically a quick dungeon exit. Fine. I think we're pretty much done down here anyway. So you can probably just take the town portal straight back. No harm in a bit of time saving after all. Right, welcome back. Right,
Found the crown.
here we are.
Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive.
Really?
Should be no problem. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
We all seek meaning in grief. Maybe we will find it together.
Quickest renovation ever, ladies and gentlemen, and most likely we will doubtless discover that the only meaning to be found in the grief is that you're dead. Now, let's see how much of this we can dismantle and get. How does the crafting system work? Okay, so that basically it's disenchantment, isn't it? Okay, fair enough. And while we're sorting out that, oh Mr. Blacksmith, you can explain why you sent us into somewhere that we most definitely weren't expected to survive. That sounds like an indirect assassination attempt. It sounds like an attempt to kill off the righteous. It sounds like someone steeped in heresy and fearing righteous judgment would do. Yes, this town is truly corrupt. Even the artisans fear the righteous. But hey, if they can make decent gear, we might be persuaded to let them live. For now. The purging will come. Oh yes. Well, that's worth having. Finally have something enchanted in the head slot, even if we do still look like we're wearing a shrubbery. And dismantle the old stuff for parts. Now, is that worth it? No, I don't think so. Right.
I've got some bread and a right good bunch of things for you this fight.
Right, let's just clear the inventory quickly. Even the Holy of Purpose must pay the bills, and hopefully he won't ask where we got all of this from, or care about the suspicious bloodstains, mould, or indeed grave and embalming fluids stuck on it. Switch those in as well. Right, I think we are at a good place to end the episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And I will see you next time, when we will doubtless fail yet again to purge this place.
Need more, Mama?
You see? Next time, Kane. Next time.